right. I almost didn't get all the buttons pressed in time before we got here. Almost. Anyway, so the meme of the day. This is Gaming with a Side of Salt, episode 64, and we have a lot to talk about today. A lot to talk about. Some good, some bad. But yeah. So,
Most of it hilarious, though.
yeah.
Very hilarious.
Why is my Discord lit up? Oh, it's Chad.
Including so many rakes stepped on by game devs. You're just like, why? Why would you? Okay. Which does incorporate with this meme.
Yeah.
Why are they? Why aren't they buying my games? I wonder why. But anyway, so we have a lot going on. Stuff happened.
Do we have anything on the
Chad? These are people. Links in the description down below, as always.
Bye, everybody.
Do we have anything on the Wonderfall situation?
So,
The Wonderfall situation? Because
What's
that
the Wonderfall situation.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a tabletop game, and basically it did exactly this. And
yeah, I think I barely saw something about that, but I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, well, you can't look it up anymore because they deleted their entire Twitter feed.
Because all I saw was something about hating men or something, or white people or something like that.
Hating white people.
And they were nuking everything. And I was like, what the fuck is Wonderfall? That was my only question.
Yeah, it was...
Exactly.
It was hating white people primarily and racist stuff. Like, I'm both an immigrant and indigenous to this land. I'm like, wait, pick a struggle, dude. Like, you can't have both.
Wait, you can't be indigenous and an immigrant to the same land. That's not how that works. Look, I understand the oppression Olympics requires you to, stack a bunch of these oppressions together. However, some of these just don't work with one another.
Yeah, sometimes they're mutually exclusive.
It does work. It does work, and I can explain how it works.
Okay.
It's called Schrodinger's victim.
Yeah, that's it. I'm indigenous, native, BIPOC, of color, pansexual demigod, trans woman. That's what I am.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to buy that shit. But anyway, so...
Yeah, and basically he wound up saying, like, we're going to... breed you out of existence or something like that. It was weird, and like I said, you can't even look up a lot of this stuff unless you go digging through old screenshots because the entire account is now nuked.
So they nuked everything.
Yeah.
That tends to happen when you do something really dumb and really racist and all that good stuff. They just like to hug box and nuke it all.
Yeah,
because they know they're in the wrong.
All right, well, blaze the glory away, my good dude. Like, whatever you want.
Oh, but first, we're going to talk about Stop Killing Games. Now, this is something we touched upon once upon a time beforehand. I guess it was about a year ago, actually, because this is about the end of the run here now. So we're going to touch this. If you were in the UK, I urge you to go take a look at this. The link for this is in the description down below on all platforms that I'm currently streaming to, so you should be able to go to that. If you are a UK citizen, you can go and sign the petition here. Apparently they have this thing where they actually pay attention to this stuff. If they get 1 million signatures on it from their own citizens, somebody in Parliament will start to look into it. Right? That's not how it works in the US. We wish it did, but this is apparently how it works in the UK.
Well, we can get things on ballots, though.
Huh?
We can get things on ballots with petitions.
Oh yeah, I mean,
out here in Cali, we've gotten a bunch of crap passed because some organization paid to have a bunch of people stand out in front of supermarkets and ask people to sign petitions, and they'll just do it. Without reading what it's actually over, and then we get something dumb on there.
We can do things like that
by the news, and then all of a sudden, dumb rule is passed again.
But getting things more nationalized or nationally, here, that's a different story. You got to have a lot of money and slip it into the right Democrat's pocket. and some Republicans too, of course.
I was about to say,
you can't leave out the rest of the Uniparty. But yeah, it goes both ways. But yeah, so if you're in the UK, I do urge you to go take a look at this. Don't go just willy-nilly signing it. Go look at it. Go read it. We're not going to go through the whole thing here, but if you do want videos on it, there are plenty out there talking about that. However, we are going to talk about what the hell is his name again? Pirate Software.
Yeah, Pirate Nation.
Software.
No, Pirate Software.
No, Software Pirate, sorry.
Because we talked about this. I think it was me and Chad who talked about it once before, about a year ago. This is before Meg showed up and graced us with her presence. And, I don't really quite remember where we stood on this other than it was a good idea. Right?
Isn't the long and short of it basically that they can't sell you a product and then disable it after?
What it is it's talking about essentially like video game preservations, the ability or the thing of like, here's a license, but there's no expiration for the license. Oh, by the way, we can also revoke your license at any time for any reason or no reason at all and stuff like that, and how anti-consumer that is. And the EU, if they do anything good, it's usually pro-consumer stuff. Like their consumer whatever protections, it's really good over there. Something we failed at here in the U.S.
Well, it's talking about the support from the publisher. So games kind of like Concord, if they didn't give a refund, they decided to stop supporting it. So now all of a sudden that you purchased a $60 brick basically, or a nice coaster, and it's not okay. Now the pushback that I heard from what's his name, Pirate Software, was basically like, how do you make that work as a developer? If you want to hold on to IP and you also it's a live service game and you don't want to keep paying for this game because the juice ain't worth the squeeze anymore for you for whatever reason. So that's kind of where you get into this sort of like quagmire, but I do think that it is an issue that needs to be addressed, and that's something for the legislature to actually hammer out.
So yeah, that's it's kind of what this thing is talking about, right? Like that's part of it. But that's all this is. This is essentially a grassroots rise up. Hey, there's an issue here. You lawmakers, you lawyers and stuff need to take a look at this and start figuring something out, because we've got these companies practically bending us over backwards 24/7 at this point. And you guys need to do something about it. And as much as I hate government when it comes to regulating things, we are at the point where government needs to regulate the gaming industry a little bit.
Yeah.
And how they handle things, because they are so outdated from their consumer protections when it comes to this sort of thing. It's ridiculous.
Well,
the whole Pirate Software thing, because after we talked about it, I did wind up finding his VODs on it and listening to his live stream thing where he talked about it, and then his other follow-up videos to it. And while I was listening to it, I do remember going, the fuck are you talking about, my dude? Because it feels like he's coming at it from a developer side, and he is a developer, right?
He owns exactly what he's coming at it from.
They develop a game. He worked for Blizzard at one point in time. He's coming from the developer side, but it's like he took a part of this, because he starts off decent, talking about how this is just sort of like, hey, look at us, we need some help, we're drowning here, and then morphed it into, this is too vague, you can't put this in law. And it's like, this was never a binding law, this was not a contract, this was not a thing that we're saying, put this into law right this second this way. That's never been the deal. And then it's like he's arguing with the straw man that he has created for himself.
It reminds me of that. Yeah, it reminds me of that saying, stop making up stories in your head and hurting your feelings.
Yeah. You can see it practically when you do watch the video or listen to it. Because, there's a joke in there about politicians somewhere in the thing. And that's where he gets kind of irked and then starts going slow, just starts declining after that. And it's like, where are you going, dude? Like, no, stop. Nobody mentioned that. Yes, granted, that might be something we have to talk about at some point, because then he goes into MMOs and stuff, and it's like, nobody even touched on this. This is centering around the crew for the most part, which is a game, that Ubisoft sunsetted, and they essentially gave you a brick that they didn't have to give you. They can turn on single player, and it's golden.
And I'm not unsympathetic to the idea that to the developer side, and I mean I do think that, you know, kind of like when we talk about consumer protections, when it comes to, you know, grocery shopping or something like that, you should also consider at least the store owner's perspective, because if you make it too punitive for the store owner, then you will no longer have stores, because it's the juice ain't worth the squeeze, and all of a sudden you only have like Amazon. But I think that there does need to be a something that is, I don't even know if it would necessarily be consumer protection, because I feel like it shouldn't even be. This is kind of like where we're asking them to kind of look at the legality of what they're doing to something that we have actually purchased. So it's more just clarifying what the law actually should be, because it's not exactly theft, but it's like, you know, taking the car that I bought and pulling out the engine so I can't drive it anymore, and it's just a very cute little brick there in my driveway.
This was solved in the early 2000s. That's why.
Well, listen, most of these things were solved back in the day,
which is what I'm about to get into.
Okay. I was actually going to attempt to get into it when we talk about this, because there's a developer who chimed in that pretty much says it.
Yep. Go ahead.
We just haven't gotten that far yet. So
it's beyond frustrating, because what that developer said was the first thought that came to mind, and I was
and it's what I said. It's echoing what I said the last time we talked about this, especially if we want to entertain the idea. Well, what about the MMOs? Are we telling Blizzard that they have to force WoW to survive, or to be up 24/7 for the next 3,000 years? No, dumbass. Nobody's asking for that.
It's called private
Players
servers.
Already fixed that problem with private servers that Blizzard went out of their way to shut down, by the way, so they can then monetize Classic and then fuck up Classic by changing Classic so it's no longer actually Classic, because that's what Blizzard fucking does. But you can't open a Classic server because Blizzard is technically selling a Classic server now, right? But no, again, private servers exist. We had things like, what was it, Star Wars Galaxies, I think, existed for the longest time.
I was so sad.
On private servers, when the servers for that shut down eons ago. And on top of that, you've got things like, and it's like, what, are we supposed to make raids single player now or something? Yeah. Look, I know other people have tackled this and said, no, that's not what, no, we yes, they fucking do. You know why they fucking do it? Because guess what? There's this company called Square Enix, and I know we like to rag on them a lot, but they kind of fixed that issue once upon a time, a couple of expansions ago. See, they have this problem where the MSQ forces you to do a dungeon. Several dungeons, to be precise. The problem is, players were having to wait like an hour to get a group into said dungeon so they could progress their MSQ. So what did Square Enix decide? Let's make some NPCs that will run with you. They're not going to be the best thing in the world. They're not going to be like a top tier player, no. But they're going to be good enough to help you no matter what job you're doing, whether it's healer, tank, DPS,
they'll fill
the other roles to get you through the dungeon so you can continue the MSQ. And they have been expanding on that program ever since to all the other older dungeons and stuff in the game. And they tried it as a trial, I think, what was it, End Waker or maybe the one prior. I can't remember which one it was.
I know,
but it was a couple of expansions ago that they first tried it with the new stuff, and then they started slowly expanding it to older content and stuff. So yes, you can absolutely take World of Warcraft, make it a single-player fucking game if Blizzard chose to do so, and you could run all the content by yourself if you felt like it.
Or you could do what Sega did with Phantasy Star Online, the original one, not 2 or New Genesis. They were shutting down the servers, right? So what they did was they reached out to the community and was like, does anybody want the server netcode so that they could host their own private servers? And that's when we got the Shatak server. Shout out to them. That's best server. And essentially Sega worked with the community to keep the game alive and going. They just didn't host it anymore.
Yeah, and it's not like, and then of course there's the other, so you're telling them to give up their IP? No, you fucking idiot. Nobody's asking anybody to give up their IP. Are you fucking daft? Like, seriously, how stupid do you have to be? If I was to host a private server, and I don't do anything with that. I just host it. People get on, they play, they do their thing. I update with the updates, stuff like that. Keep everything going. It's no biggie. Now, if I go and say, oh, by the way, if you want to buy a level skip, then I can understand a company going, hold up, you can't monetize our shit.
Yeah.
Right. That I'm all for too. You know, you come in, it's like knock you down at that point. You can't monetize that stuff. But, you know, that stuff happens regardless.
I think it's good though that this even with these wild I guess you could say straw men or ghosts that he's punching at. It's good that you hear this because this is probably the first thing that comes to the average developer's mind, and they're going to have the deep pockets to fight this in the first place. So it's good to at least know what the Steelman argument for this. Now, it is kind of punching at ghosts, but I at least understand what the concern is, you know, well, how and all of that jazz. And it's like, look, that's not what, there are many ways to solve this. As both of you guys have pointed out, you had different solutions to these problems, but they do exist. And so if you're going to sell something like this, you should have an end of life plan that's there.
Yeah, you know what it's called? It's called host via IPv4 v6 direct connect if you want to get really old school. Yeah, this was solved in like the birth of the internet, which is why this is such a retarded argument that people have been making. And in all truth, I'm just looking at like literally what that developer said is exactly what I was thinking. Like, yeah, we solved this forever ago. StarCraft 1, you could get on BattleNet, or if you wanted to, you could just give your friend your IP address so that they can connect to your computer directly. Hey, Zio, how do we play 7 Days to Die? Oh, yeah, we connect directly to my computer.
Yeah.
No, so but yeah, like we had 90% of this already solved decades ago, and they choose not to now. That's why we don't have some of the things we used to have. And it's just like when Warcraft Reforged happened, and people were upset that half these things just didn't exist anymore. And then they forced anyone with Warcraft 3 Basic to upgrade to it, no matter whether they wanted to or not. So they lost access to all those connections and stuff where you connect IP and things like that. That's why people were upset about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because the technology existed. There was no reason for them to remove it outside of just wanting to remove it from you, so you had to rely on them to do it. And it was such a fuck whatever of a game that everybody hated it.
Yeah, I think the problem that you have though is that this developer, your experiences, Zio and Chad, they might be more niche than you think. Like, you might think that it's not a big deal, but I don't think that the average normie knows about this kind of stuff. I watched a video from Asmongold, who was doing watching a video by, what is that guy's name? Moist Critical. God, I hate that name. So it was, and Charlie. he had another video that was reacting to Pirate Nation. So it was like this Russian nesting doll of videos. It was video. It was wild, man. It was wild. It was reacting.
You know what? I think we need to react to that so that we can add to it.
Pull up Asmon's and start reacting to that, and we can turn it in from like a 40-minute video to an hour long.
Exactly. And eventually there will be a 24-hour version of this, and it will be amazing.
That would be just great.
The issue will have been solved, but we'll still be doing it, and it will be great. But like Asmon was just saying, you know, there needs to be a solution to it. And, you know, yeah, I understand you, Pirate Nation, but, well, I don't even think he understood necessarily. He was like, not really valid concerns. But this is more important, that you need to have consumer protections, and he's more comfortable with government stepping in than I am in general, but I do think that that's actually true. But the thing is, he didn't know what you guys were saying or what this guy was saying. I'm sorry. To where basically there is already a solution that's available for this problem. And even if you want to go outside of private servers, there's other stuff that you can do. So I don't think that the average person knows this kind of thing. And when someone like Pirate Software says something so authoritatively, I think that it would actually kind of scare some normies away from doing it. Because then they'll think, oh, then we won't get any games at all if we kind of pass this kind of legislation.
Because
the real reason everybody is currently talking about, especially in conjunction with Pirate Software, is the fact that people are blaming him for completely destroying the movement. It was going decent, and then he came in and decided he was going to crush it, and he straight up said he was going to crush it. He was going to end it himself. However he could.
Because he's trying to price gouge, essentially, on his game.
That I don't know about.
That's the argument I've been hearing as to what his motives are. I don't know.
Well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, if he's trying to get in good graces with with a big company or something like that, then that might work.
Let me see if I can find the clip. I may have to go through somebody else's video to find one.
Well, from my understanding, he came out with a game, or he's coming out with a game, something like that.
Yeah, I think he is a developer. Yeah.
He is.
He is. He's got his. Okay.
No, I mean not like a has-been developer. Like he is active developer, meaning he's making a thing.
No, he's made a thing. What I'm saying is that I think
for surely, Charlie here has the clip in it somewhere.
Well, I can't hear it, so.
I can't either. Is this the Asmon version, or is this the...
No, I think this is Penguin Zero.
Oh, so that's Moist Critical.
So that's Charlie.
That's Charlie.
Yeah. I don't really know who Moist Critical is.
That's
I guess they're the same guy, right?
Yeah.
The Stop Killing Games initiatives is basically, we don't want single-player games to have DRM that the developers can turn off and thus render the single-player games inactive anymore. That's the...
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing is the evolution of his explanation of what this is, right? Like, that's not what this is about. Now, I think it should be part of it, absolutely. But that's not what this whole thing was about. But I think that's where it started, and then it stopped somewhere in the MMO territory.
This is what they want to change. They need to be specific that they're talking about single-player games that do not need a server to support them.
No.
And as much as they want it to...
I could hear the frustration in Charlie's voice there.
Where it is a single-player game.
That's not Charlie. That's another guy.
Oh, is it?
Charlie is
Ross is the guy who started this campaign, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That sounds like Charlie.
So Pirate Software. This guy. Okay. So this guy is yelling at Pirate Software.
This is Charlie.
That. I'm telling you, Videoception, man. And if you have Asmongold on top of it, it's just great.
And you got the Right to Repair guy in on this too, by the way.
It's great. I just love all these videos happening at the same time.
Not that guy, but there's Ross.
I think that might be the clip.
Initiative that aimed to help consumers in the video game space, all based on his complete misrepresentation of it, which was buried in somebody else's.
If you try to tell me that every studio needs to run their live service game indefinitely or not run one at all,
that's not the right clip.
Oh no! He wheeled out that line about publishers having to support the game forever. He was literally watching the video earlier where it says it won't do that in big letters. That wasn't enough. We just can't stop gamers from going there, even when we spell it out.
That's the last clip I want to show from this section on the Pirate Software video, but it's a very important one because this is something a lot of people also think the Stop Killing Games initiative is about, where developers, publishers will have to support their games forever. Until the fucking heat death of the universe, they'll have to support these games under the initiative.
Okay, I got to continue looking for that clip, I guess.
But
I mean, I think it sums it up.
Yeah, and the thing is, what kills me about this is again, it's not that there's not a solution. It's that everybody wants to ignore the solution, not counting the normies and the new age gamers because they don't count. They're not human. No, no. What I mean is that like we have the technology, we can rebuild it. You know what I'm saying? We can actually make it better because here's the thing: the reason they got rid of Direct Connect and the IPv4 and stuff, the Connect via IP, is because there was security vulnerabilities that no longer exist. Like,
well, I'm sure it will require some work. I mean, even if it's something that was done in the past, there
100%. It is literally press button connect. That is it.
I mean, just with what consumer protections are that exist, they might say, "Oh, there could be some sort of loophole. We have to have our lawyers look at it. This is a thing." It's just, I think that it could be laziness as well as unreasonable fear. But no matter what, even if it's just point click handout thing, it's still extra work for them, even if it's not significant. But I don't think that justifies they're not doing this. I think that they have. I do think that it's illegal, just not explicitly so, to brick something that they have given that you have paid.
Oh yeah, no, that should be considered absolutely illegal. Mainly because
it's borderline. It's almost theft, honestly.
Well, no, it is. It is literally. It's not theft. It's
on the edge of it, though. It's like this.
No,
it's functionally the same. Like
there's a particular name for it when you sell a product
and you destroy it. No,
it's fraud. It's consumer fraud.
Yeah, you render something that you've given somebody inoperable. And his argument that Pirate Software also basically said, it's just about people who are on single player games. Now, I think that there is absolutely no justification to brick a single player game. There just isn't.
There isn't.
And so what he was saying, though, with his argument was that they're just talking about single player games, which was wrong. And then he was saying that, well, what these people would have to do is turn all of these MMOs and all of these online these live service games into single player games. And I'm like, I don't think that's what they were saying. He did so long on that. And it was just like, so you've made up a story in your own head and you've hurt your own feelings and now you're fighting back. It was kind of fascinating, honestly.
Well, that's the thing is, I'm just like, even if it because I'm pretty sure it pertains to single multiplayer. All they have to do is put in the .NET framework, which literally takes 2 seconds to do, so that people can host on their own machines a server. And our computers, shockingly, can do that now because I do it all the time with various games. And I don't have a top-tier nuclear launch code type computer. I have a mid-range computer that can run a Minecraft server. It can run a 7 Days to Die server. It could do a 7 Days to Die while I stream, while I connect to 3 different steps in that stream. Yes, it can be done. They just don't want to do it because here's the God's honest truth. A lot of these developers can't do their job anymore. They literally fake it till they make it.
Yeah, I don't think they know anything.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I found out that there's a lot of developers now that just use AI tools to write the code. They don't know how to write code.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that as technology gets better, you're going to have people who know how to do less things.
We're going to have a collapse.
Outside of the box so much less.
We're going to have a technological collapse and then a resurgence.
I can't find the clip.
Okay, well,
I don't know, man.
I know it exists because I heard it.
Yeah,
I just don't know where it is now because I did not think to bring that one up for anything.
Yo, I want a freaking refresher already after dealing with this. This is pissing me off.
Something nice after all this. But no, like all this stuff, it's doable. You don't even have to get anything from the company. Gamers will figure out a way to do it. And the reason that most people don't even realize that it's possible is because developers don't add it anymore.
Yeah.
Like I said, with Warcraft Reforged, right? Well, everybody looked at it and said, where the fuck did all this shit go to? This was like baseline in the game, and now it's stripped from it. And Blizzard's like, well, I don't know what you mean. It's like, guys, we can't connect to each other and properly play a game over this shit. And then they tried hosting tournaments, and that failed left and right, and connections dropped, and this, that, and the other, because, they decided not to do that. But yeah, like, a lot of this stuff is already fixed. I think every Valve game that has ever launched has the ability to play by yourself offline if needed.
Yeah.
Like, Valve does that just baseline.
Yep.
They're the most pro-consumer company out there in the gaming space right now.
A lot of indie companies do that too.
Yeah. Expedition 33, by the way, turns out it's all on the disc.
Speaking of
I only found that out by pure accident earlier because I ran across a short at work of the guy saying, people keep telling me that you have to download it and it's not on the disc, so I'm going to try it out now just to see how it goes. And I was like, wait, that was a thing? Like, I didn't even know. Because I just assume at this point. But no, so he unplugged everything from the internet, made sure it was disconnected, left the camera running, all the things he could do to make it as legit as possible, popped the disc in, it downloaded from the disc, installed from the disc, and then played just fine. No internet connection required. And that's something that a lot of companies have lost, which is why we're getting like the Switch 2 with its key lock code. So you can have a Switch 2 game, you can have the little thingy, but all it's going to let you do is download the thing so you can then play it. Because it's not on the game anymore.
Yeah.
Or it's not on the cart anymore. And there's no reason why it can't be on the cart.
And
I mean, shit, we have memory cards that are like the size of my thumbnail that go up to terabytes worth of fucking data, guys. And you're telling me you can't install your 250 some gig monstrosity on that thing?
I mean, get good at that, because that's just terribly optimized, but two, yeah,
that's like every Call of Duty ever at this point. Like, no fucking joke. They're like 190 some terabytes or gigabytes or whatever it is.
Don't give them ideas.
Of unoptimized pieces of shit for a game.
And the funny thing is, like,
it just gets bigger every update too.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I'm going to come back to 7 Days to Die because I'm on that kick, and
San Andreas calls for you.
That game is horribly optimized, and then over time, because it's an independent company and they're actually very pro-consumer, they were like, we're going to focus mainly on optimizing, getting things better, and they now they have a team that's working on the back end, and it's not just
it's running much smoother too here and there.
Yeah, isn't it? And they are actually anticipating that it's going to load 10 times faster once they're done. Like I've seen them say anecdotally that it'll 10 times faster, not literally, but essentially I'm just like, this is an independent company. They do not have the money. They don't have the FU money that like Blizzard, EA, Treyarch, all those other companies have, and they can do it. So there is no excuse for anything AAA to be as bloated as it is.
I'm thinking that it's laziness coupled with ignorance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%.
More than anything.
Anyway, so yeah, if you're in the UK and you happen to come across this before,
for all of our hard
opinions,
opinions,
the end of the month is the end of the thing, and I don't think it's going to make it, but everybody is now pushing it right now, so
yeah,
it might. But yeah,
I mean, I'd never heard of it, but again, I'm kind of a normie, so
apparently, Pirate Software just saw fit to crush it, and he succeeded. It looks like, but yeah, I'd go check it out. Sign the petition if you're in the EU.
Get friends to sign it. Get your family to sign it.
Yeah,
I don't have friends or family in the European Union.
Get people to sign it. Go door to door. Have them go sign it. Give them the link.
Lie to them.
Say sign.
Say it's to say
if
puppy.
Dims can do it, so can you. Exactly. So, with all that, let's get ourselves a palate cleanser, okay? All right. Okay. So, this is the new update for Helldivers that I think Chad is going to love, okay?
Sure.
You're going to love this, trust me. Just watch the trailer, it's fantastic.
Liberty! Eat this!
Trying to shrink it so you can see it better. Told you this was going to be a palate cleanser.
DDR fighting. Oh, yeah. Nope, you're right.
Ultimate stratagem achieved.
No pain, no freedom.
Now it gets good.
No.
What?
You're shitting me.
What you're doing in that hell pod?
This isn't real. This is a fan made.
Liberty.
I love this so much. Bro, I don't even know anything about Halo, and I love this.
Listen, guys, Helldivers, please, for the love of God, contact 343 and make this a thing.
You got my hopes up, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's a short film.
I love that so much. Democracy managed. Yes.
Dance Dance Liberation. By ENDO.
Like, I thought
go take a look at that. Go give it a love. Go give it a sub. A like. Seriously, that was great. But seriously, Halo needs to happen.
I'm sorry, what? See, I can't hear you over Liberty in the background.
Listen. Halo needs to happen, guys.
Halo needs to come back.
You want to breathe some life into Halo and Helldivers?
Dude.
Master Chief is where it's at, I'm telling you.
I'm so pissed at you, Zio. You have no idea. Like, at first I was like, this is just a fan thing. It's fun. I love it. And then all of a sudden you've swapped to that, and I was like, is this real? Are they really doing a collab? Like, I'm thinking, like, oh,
I know. It is so good. You couldn't distinguish it from the real deal.
It was very well done.
It was well done. I have to give them credit. Oh, that
you know what pisses me off the most? Like, I so hardcore want to play the Halo campaign with Zio or somebody, and I don't know how they messed it up.
Master Chief Collection to work.
Yeah, we can't get it to work, and everything we looked up was like, well, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that great?
Let's
actually get into real things that are really coming down the pipeline, shall we? Final Fantasy Tactics. You got to go all the way to the source for this stuff. Let me tell you. So this is the Japanese version of their social media, where they are showing off quite a few things over here.
I mean, it's tactics, so
standard trailer, I think. Yeah, my bad. They're showing off some of the voice acting. Let's see. Let me tell you, I have never felt so bad for a chocobo until listening to one of these.
No, they did not voice what you're about to. No.
It's not this one, but this is showing the tactical view, which is freaking sweet.
Why not?
I love it. That overhead shot.
Yeah.
It's so... I don't know how many times I have like trying to get that perfect angle so I can try and see most of the damn battlefield.
Yeah.
Or at least what I'm doing. That's just nice. This is showing that new overlay, so you can actually see kind of what you're doing, what you're facing, where you're actually putting your units this time.
But
and you can also change all their equipment and stuff while on that thing.
Okay, no, that's right. I remember now. I was confused about that because I was like, we could do that in the original, but no,
because beforehand it was just here's some great blue spots. Here's where you're going to put your guys, but no battlefield information, no nothing. And you're just like, well, I hope my archer's on high ground, and then you get in, and he's like 1 foot of water. Meanwhile, the guy next to him's like 2 feet up on a rock, and you're like, damn it.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, no, that's great improvement. People are bitching about that, and I'm so confused.
Yeah, I know. We got some, I think this is in-game charge and
those animations are good. Those
their voice showing off that the moves are actual voiced now.
Nice.
Instead of having a text box that you gotta, click through.
She better start facing the enemy or she's gonna get her shit rocked.
Okay, now here's the clip where I felt really bad about the Chocobo and feel like I need to save them all now. So prepare yourself.
Daichiの怒りがこの腕を伝う。防御を後わず、疾風、熾烈山、終わらせる。
Don't do it. Don't.
Everything's got a new death cry. That was the
did.
Chocobo's death cry. I feel really bad about it.
Okay, so fun fact, I may or may not have power leveled my characters until I could get the monster talk ability so that I could turn the enemies monsters like the Chocobos to my side so I wouldn't have to kill them.
That sounds like a fair plan. So that will now haunt your dreams tonight. Death of a Chocobo.
Dude, that sounded like a cat. That's going to hurt me.
So let's see some other battle deaths. I think.
Oh, fuck that Minotaur bitch.
Seriously.
まだまだだ。
Oh, I can't wait for this to come out.
Pause it.
But the sound is nice.
Did this motherfucker
Shoot
not use a Phoenix down on an undead?
Correct. He can't. He's got to have the item command. And throw, which is a sub-ability.
You do not need throw. You just got to get up on his butt and then
go.
Well,
I mean, unless you get on top of him, but from where he's at, he would have to throw it. Or
who doesn't keep item the whole game? Oh, that's why you fell. Actually, no.
Actually, I do. I tend to actually skip White Mage altogether for the most part, outside of what I want out of it.
Yeah.
None of the magic.
Right. No.
But then I just have item, and then my chemist will rotate between other things to get like teleport and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I will go back to chemist every time with her.
Well, what I'll do, I'll tell you what I do. I do monk. Chakra. Oh, dude.
That's just how I power level everything. So,
dude, doing chakra and becoming a big ball of you ain't killing shit is so fun. And then, they have better left the chickens in. I better be able. Yeah, you know the chicken thing, right? Where you lower their courage below 10 and it transforms the enemy into chickens.
Yeah, no, I didn't know anything about that. I actually, for somebody who plays this game almost yearly, a little bit of it,
Yeah.
There's a lot about this game I had no clue about until this was coming out. Like the thing with the Brave and the Faith system and stuff, I'm
Yep.
still kind of clueless behind what the hell they're talking about. And it's like, and if you raise their faith too high, they'll just leave the party and all this other stuff. I was like, that was a thing? You could do that? What?
That was
yeah,
not a thing.
there's like characters who will join your group that if you raise their faith or something too high or bring it too low, that they will just out from the party and go like, look, it's not working out, I'm gone.
What?
And I'm just like, that's a thing? I'm so glad I didn't take the time to actually level that all the way up because I know it's important, but I don't understand how it works.
I'm so confused. How does that make any sense? I don't get it. Did they just join a convent or something?
I don't know. They even gave the little things movie mouth right there. Just interesting.
You know, when the video audio is playing, you can't talk at the same time because the audio clips out. Easy for you to say.
See, now I'm confused about the Faith and Brave system that you're talking about. Because was that in the original?
Yeah, that's the original. Like the Brave.
I never lost a character.
Like it didn't matter what you did with like your main guy. Like you could bring it all the way up, and it's no biggie because he's always locked to the party.
I thought that just
affected. You could do that with all, I guess, like the other people. But if you got like Delita as a party member, Agassiz, or any of those others, right, like the special ones, if they're Brave or Faith or something, like go to a certain point or get too low or get too high, like at a certain point, that they'll just split and go away. And it's like, why? I don't get it. But that was apparently a system in the game. It's like, because I was listening to this thing about how to properly use so-and-so, and it's like, you need to get their faith up to like 97, because if you go to 98, they're going to leave the party. And it's like, I'm sorry, what? I just don't get it.
Why, though? Did they just go, you know what, I'm a pacifist now, I'm going to join the nuns? What?
Yeah. Let's see, is this one?
Are you sure that person was correct?
Yeah, I want video proof of this happening because I've
picture it didn't happen, man. Picture it didn't happen.
Yeah,
picture it didn't happen. Like, I don't know. I've been learning bits and pieces more about the game that I didn't know.
He's been learning life.
So.
Stasis. Oh, nope. Lightning strike. Not bad. I would use stasis because I would use stasis on that bull bitch. Personally.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, I never got into menu fighting games. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just not that interesting to look at, but it's probably interesting to play. Like I play a lot of puzzle games on my phone. I would never stream.
If the Brave is to be having a very high faith stat can cause the character to leave the party permanently if it exceeds a certain threshold. Specifically, if a character's faith permanently raises over 94, they will leave the party forever. This makes managing the faith stat an important aspect of gameplay, as it can have significant consequences for both offense and defense capabilities.
So what, if their faith gets too high, they become like a nun or a...
I guess. They probably become a priest or a nun and go fuck off somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Why not? They're like, fuck this war, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Faith in God or faith in each other? Like, what kind of faith are we talking about?
Faith in God.
Oh, okay.
It's faith and bravery, so I guess it's like courage and faith in gods and stuff like that.
Well, those aren't the same thing, though. That's why I'm confused. Because I'm like, if this
Well,
is
yeah,
a
because bravery is a different stat.
Mm-hmm.
That one controls physical aspects, while faith controls magical aspects. So the higher it is, the more magic damage you take, the more magic you dish out, and vice versa with bravery, except for its physical.
Okay, so I figured out. So here's what it is. Oh my god, this is a thing. I never had this happen. So
I know I've never had it happen either, so I didn't know it was a thing.
So if bravery goes too low, okay, they will desert.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll run away like a chicken.
Yeah. And every time they get their faith or bravery affected, it is raised or lowered by 2. So they might lose 50 bravery, but they'll lose.
I thought it was 5. Like you have to raise it 5 points for 1 point up or down.
Well, I'm just using that as an example. The most that they can lose permanently is 2. Okay. So like because I just saw a video where a guy got hit by -50 bravery. But he only lost 2 permanently.
Yeah, I think it depending on how it is, like the calculation is different because back in the day when I first learned that you could actually permanently raise those, I knew that if you raise it by 5 points, it will raise it permanently by 1. And by doing this method slowly over time, you can raise your things up really high. But I don't know how devaluing it works. So it's a different number, I think. And it's got to be at the same time. So if you raise it like 5 or 4 points in one battle and then 1 point in another battle, it doesn't add together kind of deal. But yeah, those are mechanics that I didn't know that this game had, making it even more in-depth than I ever realized.
So if you raise their faith, Zio, yes, they become fucking nuns.
Yes.
I just watched. There's dialogue to this.
Is there really? Yes. Give me the link to whatever you're watching. I want to see that.
There is dialogue to this where I got Agria saying our strength is not before the almighty power of the gods. And I'm like,
send me that link.
It's like 8 minutes long, but what I'm looking at is at 432.
We'll get to it.
If you go to 432 and 354, you'll see 2 dialogue boxes.
Let's see. What'd you say, 432?
Yeah.
Okay.
And 354.
Okay, so this is what? Faith increased by 4.
Yeah, it's the faith going too high.
Characters will threaten to leave your party, and once their permanent faith is 95, they will leave. To combat the annoying messages after a battle, have a character stay at 84 faith, and if you don't want them to ever leave, keep them at 94 faith. To better increase your chances of breach landing, you can always use save states, line editor, or FFT patcher. To do this legitimately, though, I recommend having a good Zodiac compatibility sign with your...
Oh yeah, and the Zodiac compatibilities. I didn't even realize that was a thing either.
I knew it was a thing.
Like, I knew they had a thing. I just didn't know how it worked at all. But apparently certain Zodiac signs have compatibility with each other. Like what are those, Meg? Meg, did she check out from this discussion?
I totally did. I'm like, I don't know anything
what
about
are those girls who are all about the stars and everything?
I don't know any of that. Oh, you're thinking about astrology?
Astrology chicks. There we go.
Yeah, no, I don't do any of that stuff. I probably didn't know my sign for years.
But it's like different signs are compatible.
Your units, and to also increase your...
Well, I know that the signs can fight each other and
Black Mage for that stat multiplier. Now, what are the benefits of having high faith? It's good and bad, and the opinion of it can vary from player to...
But anyway, yeah. So those are things that happen in the game.
Now the bravery thing. If you go to 352, you'll see the bravery dialogue.
Threats from 15.
354.
Absolute lowest of 6 bravery. If it's 5, then the unit will leave forever.
Matters not what I do, the fight does not end. I would not win.
The unit will leave forever. Forever. If this happens,
I've never had this happen.
You really want to say goodbye to the character. Ramza is immune to leaving the party if his bravery is too low and his faith is too high. Now for faith, as I mentioned at the beginning, the only way to increase it is with the Orator's Preach ability, and it isn't a guarantee. Preach will increase your faith in battle by 4 and 1 permanently. Just a warning though, once you reach 85 permanent faith, characters will threaten to leave your party, and once they're permanent...
Wow.
Here's the thing. I saw the faith thing on, the Oracle's skills. I was like, who gives a shit? And then I just moved on. I never thought, like...
No!
And here's the thing. Why would you want to do this? Why would you want to raise it?
Well, because it gives you more magical power. Like, what I knew about Brave and Faith is Brave was more physical, while Faith was magical. The higher it is, the bigger the number, right?
So what happens if you have too much bravery? Is there too much bravery?
I have no idea. I legit don't know.
I'm so confused now.
Yeah, I think the faith mechanic is interesting. Just kind of like it's that whole Icarus thing with flying too close to the sun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a thing.
Big
like
shock.
I said, I've been learning new things about the game and realizing it was more deep than I thought it was.
Yeah, big shock. I'm still not going to use it.
It's like I'd hate to accidentally do that.
Well, considering there's only one skill in the game that does that, you don't think you got to worry too much.
Well, I think in the PSP version there wasn't. Because I used to raise Ram's faith with another ability.
Okay.
But I think it only worked on him because it was his ability. I couldn't cast it on somebody else. So I would power level his faith and shit. But it was just to him. And I never worried about anybody else because it was like it's going to take too long to try and figure out how to do them. And yeah.
I didn't know this was a thing. This is...
But yeah, and Rams is immune to it because he's the main character. So
yeah. So you can max him up. You can max him out bravery and faith.
Yeah, just never even realize.
He can become super powerful in that regard, if you think about it.
Yeah. What happens if you do it the other way, though? Like
lower the bravery, they turn into a chicken.
And magic will deal a lot less damage. Now, if you want a pretty good substitute for high faith without preaching, you can use a Rod of Faith, which puts you in faith status, which is beneficial for magic users mainly. You can also whack someone with the staff to bestow the faith status. Beowulf can also cast faith, and a mystic can do the same as well with their belief spell. Keep in mind, these effects are only in battle though, and you need Rod of Faith equipped to keep the faith effect. Having
the faith alive
means mystic arts ends.
Anyway, so let's move on to something more interesting because I'm sure Meg's tired of listening to us about this.
Well, this might not be good for Meg.
Oh well. Square Enix will make more turn-based games and recognize success of Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Oh, good. And I think they should do that. I mean, there is clearly a market for that. And the thing is that there's a difference between a game that I would like to play and a game that I would like to watch. So like watching, like even the screen, the look at the gameplay, air quotes, of tactics that we were just seeing. I was like, it looks like nothing. This is like Tetris with characters on it. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Tetris. Great game. Would never try to get people to watch me play it though. So like, But Expedition 33 actually was interesting as far as turn-based combat goes. So it kind of like beefed it up to the next level because of the fact that it was so dynamic, because you had to pay attention to what strikes were coming, what buffs and all of that jazz. You couldn't like leave and get a sandwich or something. Well, no, you could on your turn. Anyway, it's still just kind of it's not, you just walk away kind of thing. So yeah, no, it's interesting. But again, like I said, there are a lot of people that actually like this and are like diehards in for that. And so these people have not been really, you guys haven't really been getting your itch scratched, right? I mean, unless you like the
outside of Baldur's Gate, no.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and see how well that did. And then Expedition 33 came out, and see how well that did. These games are doing quite well because nobody else is scratching this itch.
Well, here's the thing. The truth of it is the itch that we're having isn't necessarily RPG per se. It's good storytelling. And here's the thing. The reason me and Zio are super excited isn't necessarily the battle systems and all that, though I do find it enjoyable. It's the story. The story in Final Fantasy Tactics, hands down, the best story Square Enix has ever told.
But the battle system does play a large part to it.
Well, there's dialogue.
There's just no way around that because Square has moved into this active time action battle system.
ATB.
No, not that. Just active battle.
Because
they don't even have parties, and it's real time. Whatever. It's the Kingdom Hearts system, right?
Yeah.
They've moved into that with all their Final Fantasies, and those Final Fantasies have not been doing so hot.
It's because people got burned out.
The last one, it's a spectacle. It's great to look at, but the battles are lame.
Yeah.
So it's fun to watch, the good stuff happen during those battles, but actually playing it, from what I've heard and everything from people, it's boring.
Wait, what?
Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people who really
it's got a lot of spectacle, but the battle system itself is essentially lame and gay.
Yeah, a lot of people that I watched quite a few playthroughs of Expedition 33 because it's just fun to watch people react to the story and the things that are happening in the game. Chad. And a lot of them were like, dude, seriously, take notes, Square Enix. I cannot tell you how many times I heard that, Take notes, Square Enix. This is what we wanted. This is what we demand. This is what we stop trying to turn everything into like a live action game. It's not what this is.
Well, time will tell if they actually took notes or not.
Well, I think they want the dollar.
Square was one of the people trying to push this idea that nobody really wanted Clair Obscur until it became such a thing that they couldn't put off anymore.
Well, I mean, the thing is that the hook in Expedition 33 literally is the story. It is just that compelling. Like, I cannot tell you how many people I've watched bawl on stream while playing this game. So it is an engrossing game. It's really fascinating. It's interestingly told. There's so many different, there are people actually putting out philosophy VODs on what actually happened and all of that stuff and who was morally correct. And no, there actually is argument.
I'm morally correct.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Actually, guess what? That is exactly what Final Fantasy Tactics.
And yeah, but this one looks better. But it does. I'm sorry. It looks great. It looks like it looks like art. But the thing is that I'm not dogging on Tactics because like I said, I think it would probably be kind of fun to play in a sort of same way I'd enjoy playing Tetris or the various phone games that I play.
So we got to get Meg to play Final Fantasy Tactics.
I will not play it on stream, but I'd probably play it and be perfectly fine.
She'll watch one of us play it, I'm sure.
Yep.
I absolutely would not. I would
it for sure.
I would fall asleep or start putting in boring in the chat. You do not want to play this on stream. I just don't think that's a thing. Unless your commentary is that stellar.
It's going to happen. I'm going
to. It's not going to be as exciting.
No, you owe Expedition 33 first, sir. I don't want to hear a darn thing from you.
Actually,
I've been lied to entirely too much.
I actually am doing it next week.
Yeah, I'm like every time it's 7 days to die, and I'm like, fine. And it's like, look, let's go gather more materials. I'm like, ugh. So
7 days to die is a lot of fun.
No, that's the thing. Like I played Sunhaven, and I would go and farm and do all of this other stuff. It's great. It's not fun to watch.
Which has a new update, by the way.
Oh, let's play that next week.
I'm not talking to Pat anymore. But I mean, so it has a great story. So if Square Enix can do story, that would be great. But it also has good turn-based, which was I actually watched and didn't keep fast-forwarding through all the time. I mean, after a certain point, I'm like, all right, guys, this dude's really beefy, and I only have so much time in my life. But yeah, I mean, there is a niche for this type of battle, where you have to think it through. You have all of these buffs on it. What kind of things are you going to do? So it was interesting also watching the type of builds that people would come up with, because it was really crazy.
Sounds like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Again, looks so much cooler.
Listen, Square is known for storytelling, but they have lightly been dropping the ball on some of that storytelling.
Yeah.
Like the last expansion for Final Fantasy XIV, they dropped the ball there. 16, it looks great, but it is kind of boring at the same time. Heck, 13 has a very interesting premise, and that's been a while ago, but I got bored in the first few hours of that game. I never can get past it. Because that was when they were trying to go towards that active battle thing where you're never stopping kind of deal, but also still turn-based bullshit.
Everything after 9 sucked, in my opinion.
It after 10.
After 9.
10. Anyway. 10 was still good, thank you.
There was only 2 things good about 10. Lou and Lou.
Listen, just because Lou has some assets. But anyway, so let's move on. What is this Concord being back thing? So I looked into it, and it's just somebody got it running.
So I don't know, but I saw it and knew it would torment everybody here. So I was like, let me drop that and run away.
Oh my god, Concord runs! Granted, I have not been able to play a match, but everything else runs. Apparently somebody's trying to make Concord run.
Well, there's a book. Concord. There's a book about this. I think it's called Frankenstein.
Listen. When we were talking about stop killing games, this is the kind of shit I was talking about.
Yeah.
Like the developers don't even have to give you the code or the APK or anything for that matter. If somebody wants to make it happen, they will fucking make it happen one way or another. And you just got to wait for that one person who does know what they're doing to make it happen. So somebody's apparently been working on trying to get Concord to run, even though Concord, the servers aren't there anymore. They deleted it from everything. Except for this guy's copy. He got it.
Yep.
He got it running.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not against this. I reserve the right to clown this game utterly, but yeah, you can totally play it. I think you should be free to play this game, and I can be free to mock it. And please release screenshots so I can laugh at it more.
Yeah, this is a very early build. You can see placeholders. Yeah. I mean, I think people should be allowed to do that. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I'm cool with this. I just thought it was hilarious because I just saw the beginning of that and it made me laugh.
All right. So,
okay, before you play this, I know what this is. Before you play this, I want to point something out. When was the last time there was a good water level?
Never. Anyway.
Exactly.
So, Monster Hunter Wilds has, what's the word? It has fallen. We'll go with that. It has failed. It really has. Monster Hunter Wilds, they have fucked it up on the PC side of things. That
I can't even defend it. Like, no. The optimization is garbage.
I know. We looked into it last time.
Fun with it?
No, we did, but like,
oh yeah, I absolutely love it. I mean,
maybe it was like a one and done sort of thing.
It's something I'd like to go back to, but it just had this boost up, probably because of the
what we're about to watch.
It had a boost up today because of this trailer dropping, which is going to go live in a few days, by the way. No, but its numbers were under Monster Hunter Wilds or Worlds.
Isn't this kind of more like a campaign-heavy game, though? So where, once you finish the story, you're kind of like, all right, I'm good. And then you leave. And
No, it's one of those you hunt the same thing repeatedly kind of thing. And then you build armor and weapons and stuff. But because the game is really easy compared to its predecessors, people were hitting that crest way sooner than they should. And then there was the fact that they have yet to actually address any of the optimization on the PC side of things, which we found out was being an issue last weekend. So, yeah. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a resurgent come in because of this title update that's about to launch. But we're going to take a look at it. So...
Too quiet.
Electric Dragon Daddy.
Too quiet.
Too quiet. Why can't boost it?
That's the top? Seriously? Yeah.
Okay. So, as far as I'm aware, they have done underwater like one time throughout of Monster Hunter's existence, and it was like Monster Hunter Tri or 3. And it wasn't exactly anybody's favorite thing in the world to do. So it would be an interesting thing to see how they managed to do it in the modern day.
Well, I will repeat myself. When was the last time there was a good water level? Never.
Never.
Here's the thing. I saw this and was like, I'm not interested.
Well, I am. So you can't knock it until I at least try it.
Yeah, I can. I'm okay being a hypocrite. Now I'm interested.
Now you get interested.
Don't care.
Oh, they're bringing in layered weapons, which is nice.
You don't get views like this sitting around back at base camp.
Oh, and you can change your handler out, by the way, for what's-his-face, because nobody asked for that, I don't think.
No.
Everyone, it isn't safe here. Let's head back home.
So yeah, I guess we're getting two monsters in this one.
But okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Underwater combats, layered weapons.
Layered weapons, that's cool.
Additional features. Festival, Arch-Tempered, Uthduna. don't even care about regular Uthduna. That's just one of those, oh great, I gotta fight this fat thing again.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, I don't know, man.
I honestly think that it depends on how you approach games. If you look for games just to fight monsters, then this would be amazing.
Oh
if you
yeah,
look
that's
for
why
it for
people
story,
want it.
there doesn't seem to be anything there.
So I mean, heck, Chad didn't even took him forever. I think. Did you even reach Hunter rank 50 yet?
I don't remember. I don't care.
Because all the tempered stuff requires you to be 50, so you can actually take on the challenge.
Cool.
All right, fine.
I mean,
uninterested. But yeah, I'm sure that will bump up their numbers for a hot second, then it will drop again because again, if they don't do anything about that optimization,
and that's the thing is like I'm
sucks.
like I recently went through my hard drive. I was like, is this worth the 100 gigabytes? No, uninstall to a lot of things. One of them being Monster Hunter Wilds.
Oh, hence why you don't want to try it out with me. Got it. That makes sense now. That's why he's uninterested. I actually am curious to see if they actually have done anything with that because they haven't done water combat since the freaking Wii, for crying out loud.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
in the
you'd
Wii,
be the one.
it sucked ass. So for a modern control scheme, it'd be interesting to see how that actually works out. Might be kind of fun.
I mean, you'd definitely be the person to try it.
So yeah, I'll go try it out, see if it's fun or not.
Yes,
but,
we will send you down into the salt mines.
I'll go into the mines, but yeah,
he yearns for them.
It's got an uphill battle, and it's all stemming from the fact that they refuse to do anything about optimization. Because not a mention of it in there. They did this whole, not this here, but they did like this whole thing Capcom did. And showed it off. And they talked about the different monsters and stuff, and not one mention about optimization on the PC. It was like, Capcom, you're really fucking up right there, guys. Like, seriously. That was a huge chunk of your player base. For you to just disregard them continuously now for months and just not even address it. That just sucks. But, yeah, Capcom's going to do Capcom, I guess. They did have other things that looked pretty good.
You know what would save this? Making Mega Man Legends 3.
Yeah, that would do it. Mega Man X, another Mega Man X game. That
Mega Man X.
You.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
He's going to go. And okay. Anyway, so let's move on to Twitch because Twitch has issues again. When does Twitch not have
is an
issues?
issue?
That is true. Twitch is an issue. Tim the Tatman says gaming streams or streamers on Twitch might be cut. The biggest streamers don't even game anymore. IRL is king. Now that's the reality. And yeah, I mean,
it's kind of true. I mean, you don't get like 12, 14-hour streams of games. You'll get some gaming and then some social commentary. There's a lot of like parasocial bonding going on in a lot of these things. Honestly, it's kind of unhealthy. I mean, not saying I don't watch some of this stuff, I do, but
heck, Asmongold is apparently the biggest political streamer now, so
which is hilarious because
which is hilarious. He's the biggest gaming streamer. So.
What now? What's up?
Twitch being cooked for gamers.
Oh yeah, has been ever since they announced we're going to be a general streaming platform.
Yeah,
okay.
If I heard correctly, didn't this guy just get banned again, or is that somebody else?
No, you're thinking of Tectone.
Oh, Tectone, that's who it was. Yeah, Tectone just got banned again because what was it? Was it Denims or something?
Yeah.
Complaining
so
that
the thing
people
is,
were calling her a whore, and he was like, "Well, then don't do an OnlyFans. People won't call you that." That's like, and that's what they ban you for. Okay.
Well, now you know why I'm not on Twitch because it's for horse.
You're gonna make Zio have to take a class, man.
I forgot.
No, because it would just be the destruction of my Twitch channel that I never use.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Twitch doesn't.
Yeah, I don't care that much about Twitch.
And nothing,
so.
nothing of
No
value
offense,
was
one
lost.
Twitch watcher, we love you.
To the one Twitch watcher out there, I love you, man. But you might want to
to
come
the Rumble
somewhere else
side.
if I ever get banned.
We have cookies.
But hey, we can put it to the test because I said exactly the same thing. What's his face did, and I guess we'll see if I get banned for it. I guess over there. If not, he can hunt this down and go, guys. Really?
See? Yeah, no.
It's
I
like
saw
calling
this.
Frogan fat, which she is, but
You're not allowed to say true things.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting thing. It's something I was thinking about as I'm talking about with my husband. Where we were, I don't remember what it was. I think it was when you're saying, trans women aren't women, or trans women are men, and you're like, oh, you can't say that, and I'm like, this epidemic of niceness is very, very well, it's something that's pushed by like this female sort of empathy of like wanting everybody to get along and be friends and everything. That's why girls always say nice things to each other, even if we don't like each other. We'll still say nice things to each other because we don't like people to be sad, or at least good women, like not the toxic harpies who want everybody to feel terrible about themselves. But the thing is that is not something that naturally goes along with telling the truth. So if you're being nice to someone, a lot of times you're not telling them the truth.
Yeah.
That is actually that's the negative side to wanting everybody to feel good. So I think I've made this analogy before where like, if we were like D&D kind of characters, the men would be like in the warrior classes and the women would be in like the mage classes. So we like apply the buffs and the debuffs, we'll make you feel good or we'll make you basically want to kill yourselves. And that's kind of like where we roll. And so good women kind of want everybody to be buffed. We want to buff all of the people. We want them all to be like, you can do it. You're great. You're special. Do you look fat in that dress? That would make you sad. That would debuff.
Rah,
so no.
rah, kick him in the knee.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, I mean, because of the fact that the feminine energy has kind of invaded the zeitgeist, telling the truth has kind of gone out of fashion. Although I will say that masculine energy is making a comeback
at Twitch. So
yeah,
it's infested with simps.
Yeah, it's very feminist, and so but masculine energy is making a comeback, and so now you're getting to the point of I don't cares. A lot of I don't cares. This is the truth. Like you don't want to be called a whore. Well, don't be a whore. So like instead of like, oh, maybe that's not nice. Guys are getting to the point where they don't care anymore, and women have overplayed the empathy card, which basically means that like I feel like guys module for that can be uninstalled, and I feel like you guys are like going to keep uninstalling that patch, and it's going to be to the detriment of women. Frankly,
it already is. I saw a video earlier today about a woman complaining because she was in a parking lot somewhere in the city trying to, I guess, change her tire or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And she was frustrated because she couldn't get things to do the things. And her friend is right there. And she's like, look at all these guys. There's guys all over here just staring. They're not doing anything. And one of them was there and it's like, well, what the hell do you want us to do?
Yeah.
It's like, people like you are the reason these guys are standing around not lending a hand.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's just how it is. That's the kind of guys you wanted, because if they look at you for too long, they're sexist. If they approach you, they're trying to rape you or something. And if they're trying to be good, I have a boyfriend.
And let's not forget the fact that the only reason you saw that, Zia, was because what was she doing? Recording it.
Yeah.
Every guy that sees a phone out like this is going to
that too. Nope. And any guy who knows anything about the internet seeing a woman in a phone out like that is just like,
so you would change that your own damn self.
Because they don't want to be part of some kind of video saying this guy was creeping on me and trying to take my tire or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna be terrible for society and especially women, honestly. I mean, chivalry's dead, women killed it, but that doesn't mean that it's good that happened, like men are you guys are made bigger and stronger and like more rational and able to like uninstall, download, what is it, Empathy EXE,
I mean, it
for the
still
good.
happens out in the country, but I think it definitely died in the cities.
Yeah, I mean, okay, you want an example? That video I just sent you.
All right.
Hello. Can I help you with that?
Are you sure?
Absolutely. My lady is in distress, and I'm here to rescue her.
Thanks. They say chivalry's dead, but I think you're making a pretty strong case for its revival.
Well, I'm always ready to help a beautiful lady. I help the ugly ones as well, but I definitely say you're in the former camp. Where am I taking this?
Well, it's only a few streets away. I'm moving in with my boyfriend,
Fuck
Ian.
You must be Quick Finch's granddaughter. You're much better looking than he is. Imagine trying to kiss that.
It's awkward. It's uncomfortable.
Let me take these to your table.
Thank you, handsome. The gin and tonic's for my sister, Ruth.
Okay.
This one is for Stacey.
Hello.
And if you could hand this one to my boyfriend.
Fuck you.
It's a British comedy skit show.
So why would a beautiful woman like you be looking at flats?
Okay.
But yeah, no.
Watching that again because I completely forgot what the point was being made.
Well, no,
the point was being made was basically that
men are becoming that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's because women have overplayed their empathy card. We've abused it. I mean, it can be used for good, where you say, "Look, what would you feel if somebody hurt your feelings like that?" And go, "You know what? Yeah, all right, that's cool. I'm gonna lift the dude up a little bit. Maybe I'll be a little nicer to and you don't crush people." But on the other side, now we've overdone it, and now everybody's this big marshmallow who kind of needs a little bit. Yeah, you're fat. Maybe you should do something about it. So, but the thing is that we're gonna get to the overcorrection, and eventually, I guess we'll get back to the middle. But it's gonna suck for a few years.
I mean, so like it's like this.
I rolled a one. I'm working out, so it's not gonna happen tonight.
Yeah. So
sorry.
Listen, I know 4 fat people, and Zio's 2 of them.
Well, there you go. Listen, I rolled to see if I could work out tonight. Maybe
I'm the other 2.
Failure.
See, that was good. That was my thought to say, and I was like, if I was a guy, I would have just said it because it's a good line. But I'm also a girl, and I'm like, but that could hurt his feelings. Seriously, this is a thing, and I know in my head that would not make you mad. That would not even hurt your feelings. You'd be like, good one. But like, it's still like my girl nature kind of overrides that. So I wouldn't say that, it's just, it's hard for me. It's a pain. Like my brain knows it, but my heart's like, yeah, just don't say it. It's okay. You don't have to be the funny person in the conversation at this moment.
Okay. So what we got going on here?
Basically, people are kind of coming around and realizing that Gamergate was about gaming ethics, and game journalists are pieces of shit.
Lol.
Okay, bye, Zio.
We're in charge.
That happened for too long, guys.
What happened? What keeps happening to you, sir?
Oh, you know exactly what happens after so long. It does the thing.
No, it's not been 2 hours. Not even close.
Oh, it wasn't. It's just my camera blacked out for some reason. So
okay.
It does that sometimes too. Before it just kicks me to things.
Is yours battery ran? I swear, if you got a battery ran computer,
USB
camera. Okay, cool.
I mean, it's from like 1998, but it's USB.
Okay. No, there's people I've realized who are like, they got money, like they got FU money, and they're using these like cheap battery operated wireless cameras, and I'm like,
never even thought about it. Anyway, so what do we got here? We got Notch talking about, at least people believe us, that Gamergate was about ethics and games journalism now. But what is he referring to? Like
that they lied about it and tried to say that he's basically talking about the games journalists that were trying to spin it that they're the victims, and really they're just pieces of shit.
Well, yeah, we've always known that.
Is there something I was pointed out? Like,
we've known it, but it hasn't been known by the normie class.
And the normies are waking up.
Okay, the normies are waking up. Yeah, it's about time.
Better late than never.
Well, the thing is that we're so outnumbered by them that we kind of need them to like recognize, as you would say.
Yeah, there you go.
Meme of the day, I guess. Second meme of the
day. But yeah. Gaming journalists are scum. Oh, speaking of which, GameSpot gave Death Stranding 2, because it's out now, by the way.
Yeah.
They gave it a 7 out of 10, which means you probably should go check it out. It's definitely a good game, and GameSpot wants you to not play it, which means you probably should play it. It's a really good Kojima game, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard that too, and I didn't even know what it was because usually my head is encased in a giant ball of wax unless Legend of Zelda comes up, and suddenly I'm like, what? So, yeah, I've heard good things even from people who were reluctant to play it. They were like, I don't know, man. The first one was
it's
so
one
boring.
of those games. It's like a who is it? Karen. Say
Tarantino?
words, Chad.
Tarantino
movie. It's like if you go to watch a Tarantino movie, you're going to watch it for a specific reason because there's lots of violence in there. There's probably feet. But anyway, Kojima's one of those kind of people, right? He's the Tarantino of gaming. If you're playing a game that he has made, it's because it's a Kojima game. You're expecting something a little weird, something out of the box.
Something disappointing.
Disappointing?
Really?
Dude, like I love Kojima. Metal Gear Solid 1. One of my favorite games of all time.
Gonna diss on Kojima.
Yeah, because he fell off and nobody wants to acknowledge it.
He didn't fall off.
Okay, anyway. You know what? Okay, I just sent you a link.
Okay, that's fine. Let's see, what is this? GameSpot, right?
What do you think was his first miss?
Metal Gear Solid Sons of Liberty.
Sons of Liberty.
Because it's the one after Metal Gear Solid. And I don't necessarily, I'm not 100% blaming Kojima for this, but the marketing was very deceptive.
Sons of Liberty.
And then
like
Snake
the second
Eater,
one?
Yes.
Dude. Okay.
I don't
walk me through it.
Okay, I don't give a good goddamn.
Oh, it's because of Raiden, isn't it? It's
Yes.
because they swapped out for Raiden. Yeah, I understand.
But their marketing didn't.
A lot of people got upset about that, but it grew on people as time went on.
Yeah,
no,
like
I'm sorry. It's been a long time since I played that.
Not on
one.
all people, apparently.
That wasn't the one. No, you're right. I see where you're going with that.
No, and then
But
Snake
it's
Eater
still pretty
was-
good. I enjoyed it. I didn't care for 3 because I felt like going backwards in time wasn't that great.
And it was confusing too. I'm going to be honest. Like that really
It did
confused
flesh
me.
out like the first game a bit better.
Yeah, and then they went full bore with the action, and the stealth espionage element be damned. So
yeah, and I think that was purely due to company things at that point.
No.
I think 2 was its peak.
Kojima had full creative control. He can't be like, no, it's Konami bullshit. And then his abandonment of PT. Let's not forget that.
Well, he had no choice. He wasn't part of the company anymore.
Well, no. PT, he was part of the company. What are you talking about? What?
They did the whole PT teaser and everything, and then Konami removed him from the company.
That's right.
Like there was this big falling out and everything, and everyone's like, "Wait, what's going to happen? Wasn't that like supposed to be the next Silent Hill or something?"
Yeah.
And then Konami nuked at PT from orbit.
I remember that now. You're right.
Death Stranding was the first thing he's done without the involvement of anybody. It was purely him. And it was Walking Simulator 2024 or whatever, right? 2022, whatever it was. It was an acquired taste. I didn't really care for it that much myself. But it was one of those games that I enjoyed the story of because the world itself is really interesting. So I like the lore of Death Stranding, not so much the gameplay.
Don't worry though, I got you covered.
Okay, what you got for me? Is he going to do something?
I don't
sent
know.
it to you already, you boomer.
Where?
Where I've been sending everything in our group chat.
The walking simulator thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what you're referring to. My bad.
Well,
I'm sorry. I got sidetracked with Sons of
how
Liberty.
is he the youngest of us? Like, I'm
right?
Yeah, no. Listen, I got sidetracked on Sons of Liberty because honestly, I think that was probably the best Metal Gear game. I mean, I know you don't like the whole, swapping to Raiden and everything, but
I don't like that character in general.
So,
I think Raiden's just a poorly done character in general. They took this like terrible character and tried to like redesign him, and yeah,
it was the younger Snake, inexperienced younger Snake. And
So
then they fucked him up and made his own game into an action game. And just, Raiden does... I don't even know what the hell happened there. Anyway, so... they went ahead and they gave this a 7. Right? Good. Revisiting the world of Death Stranding is exciting. Visuals, core gameplay is still unique. The bad, repetitive story beats that are too close to the first game. Okay. Focus on weapons and spectacle distract from the uniqueness. So it's a story-driven game, still. Friction is lost, rendering some challenges superficial.
What?
I have heard it's a bit easier than the first game.
Friction is lost? I have questions about that.
They refined so the first Death Stranding...
I am actually... This is purely a semantic thing. I am annoyed with this choice of words.
Okay, so the first Death Stranding game, a lot of journalists were upset about it because the controls were clunky.
Mm-hmm.
And the story was too out there for them, essentially. Like, the whole idea of the game was too out there for them.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, in the new iteration, they have refined the controls and everything and have got a grasp on the lore. And now that's what the journalists are upset about. Is the fact that it's now refined and more fluid than it was, which a game should be when you go from like 1 to 2 that's doing the same thing. And the fact that the story is more refined and there's better, and the lore is getting, additional stuff. Questionable tropes around women.
It's making me want to buy this, actually.
Opinion ignored.
So it's Kojima.
Yeah.
Kojima has a thing for ladies.
And last I checked, he's from Japan.
Last I checked, he's from Japan, and he made a character who breathes through her fucking skin in order to put her in a damn bathing suit for the entire game. Yeah, I'm not... If you're going to play a Kojima game, it's probably kind of one of those things. It's like, if you're watching a Tarantino film, you shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. That's the thing is... Here's the thing, I will give Kojima credit. He is very imaginative. I just don't always gel with...
Well, according to the last reason, the boss fights are unimaginative. So...
I can't say one or the other. Here's the thing. Kojima fell off for me years ago, and I just didn't gel with his stuff. And then when Death Stranding came out, I was like, this looks kind of interesting. And then I saw the gameplay, and I was like, oh...
It was not one of those games that I wanted to play, but I enjoyed the story. Like, seriously, it was one of those that I enjoyed the lore of, but I don't want to play it to get it.
Here's the thing, I don't
get it from other people.
I'm going to say this, and people are going to hate it. I don't care. Kojima should not be in charge. He should be the head narrative director, and somebody else should take care of the gameplay aspects.
Well, that's like I said. He's the Tarantino of gaming.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
there's a lot of people who hate Tarantino too and all his stuff and don't like it for the same thing. It's like he shouldn't be in charge. But
I like some Tarantino films. A majority, I think, are okay.
I like the dialogue. I don't care for the story.
I'm not a fan of Tarantino's directing style.
Listen, they gave
it's very brash. It's very in your
this
face.
game, so.
What do you say, Zia?
They give you double ladders in this game, which I thought was pretty cool.
But how many shoots?
0 shoots, double ladders.
You're going only up.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
No, seriously, they actually did. They gave you the ability to have 2 ladders, so you can go across larger chasms. And I was just like, "Oh, neat! I'm still gonna watch somebody else play this."
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm just like, dude, I'm not.
It's not my thing, but seriously, if you're a huge Kojima fan or something, you should go check it out because GameSpot hates it. Therefore, you know it's good for any of you Kojima fans out there.
I don't see the thing is they gave it the 7, and the 7's always their default.
Yeah, I know.
So
when you look at the reasons
bad is questionable tropes around women,
which now makes
the
me
fact that it's more fluid and works better, and claiming it's focus on weapons and spectacle from a Japanese storyteller who is all about spectacle and flair.
Yeah, I gotta say,
detracts from it. So GameSpot is trying to give it a 2 without giving it a 2.
The bad is selling the game more than the good.
It is, honestly.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just because of the fact that we have such disdain for urinalists. So
true. I want a break.
Break.
Give him a break. Give him a break.
Break me off a piece of that.
Reese Cup.
Don't tell him.
Wait, does he not know?
Huh?
Well, I know.
I was waiting for Meg to finish it. I know what it is.
Oh, I do too. Kit Kat bar.
I thought Chad didn't know for a second.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Reese Cup.
Yeah, because I like Reese Cups. Kit Kat bars.
I can't eat chocolate. So
actually, you know what? I do like Kit Kat bars. Reese Cups are my number 1 love, but
me too.
I'll take a Kit Kat bar if
I
it's
miss
offered.
chocolate. It's so good.
I shouldn't, but sometimes I'll eat it.
That's the only kind of candy I eat, but I can't eat it. So
I like Reese's. I just can't eat chocolate very well. Anyway, so let's go with it.
Yeah, no sound, my dude. No sound.
Wait, really? That's right. I forgot. I gotta do the thing. Sound, share. Okay, let's try this again.
Why do 90% of all medicines sound like cool wizard names?
'Tis I, Benadryl.
It is I, Zyrtec, the Almighty. Much for Xanax, the wise, the mighty. I 90%.
It's true too. That's what I love.
All right, so what is this, Chad? I didn't link this one.
I did because honestly, this is a short, sweet thing where I'm like, this dude bought Red Lobster so it wouldn't go bankrupt, and he got plans for it that actually sound pretty decent, like redoing the menu and bringing back some of the stuff that was popular. And I was like, you know what, good on him. Young entrepreneur guy. Hell yeah.
Bring me the all-you-can-eat shrimp back.
Actually, I think that's one of the things he said.
That's just one of the... Listen, I wanted to hit it. I haven't hit it for years.
Yeah, it's right there.
I've been able to for years, right? And the last time they were doing it, I was unable to get to a Red Lobster. And then there was stuff, and then the Red Lobster that was nearby, I think, closed down or something. I was like, I'm never going to get it again, am I? Am I going bankrupt? I loved that.
Yeah, they're bringing back the seafood boil bags and $5 drinks.
That's cool. All right, so AI training is not theft. A court has ruled that training data for AI is fair use. Artists are oh my god, they are going to melt down. Anyway,
well, the interesting thing is, it's not just this. They're using it to train AI on YouTube. So they're training the AI to watch the YouTube videos, and basically they're going to start summarizing them and then summarizing them into an AI made video.
Yeah, YouTube already does that.
Yep.
Yeah, so
YouTube's
I mean,
done
well,
that for a long
they've
time
done
now.
that. They're going to continue doing it, and you can't opt out of it.
Yeah, YouTube's been doing that for a while. That's how they get, or you can actually get a transcript of the video because it's done by AI.
Yep.
It's been done for a while, but yeah, like,
well, I mean, when you get
one of those things that I feel like should have been a dumb moment, because I feel for the artists, of course, but it's like, yeah, and they love to yell, well, it's theft because you're training it on my art and everything. And it's like, how did you learn to draw again? How did you learn to art? Oh yeah, by following what other people have done. You've seen things, you saw stuff, that inspired you to draw this.
Yeah, I think so.
But you had to learn by doing it. Stuff. It's just AI's quicker at it.
And the funny thing is, that's exactly what I posted when I responded to this. I was like, yeah, because, will you stop shooting outside?
No, you're in the city. They have guns. I mean, they don't have guns.
4th of July. Never mind. Continue.
Continue. They're fire bombs.
So I think that this is true, but unfortunate for artists. I don't know when it comes to YouTube, just because of the fact that what they're going to do is I don't know if I know that what you're saying is that they do like the transcript of it, but do they do where they consolidate like the information from it, and then if you run a search for something, you'll have the option of the AI option, or you can look at one of these other search results.
YouTube doesn't do that presently that I know of.
That's what they're aiming towards.
The second that or ChatGPT or anything gets access to it, I guarantee it absolutely will do it.
Yeah. Well, that's what
it might be able to. I just don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're training Google's VO to do that. Yeah. So
yeah,
I mean, I think that in that case, though, then people who make content,
it already has an algorithm that kind of does that already. Okay, no, because I've looked up things in the past, like how to do a thing or whatnot, or what to find through Google, and then it will give me a YouTube video, like in its search, and says, hey, between minutes 3:23 and 5:38 is what you're looking for, I think. Go ahead and hit play. And it usually, in like 10 times out of 10 so far, or 9 times out of 10, it's been exactly what I was looking for, how to do the thing. So they've already been doing that to a degree, but I don't know how they've been doing that, either with an algorithm or, probably an algorithm before AI. It's just AI is going to make it more widespread, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. What the content creator that I was watching was saying was that what they're going to do is they're going to basically make it to where the summary is basically a video in and of itself, and therefore you don't have to click on the creator's video. You can just click on the summary, and then that'll be like the short, sweet, down and dirty. But the thing is that the person who created it now doesn't get the click and doesn't get the ad revenue.
Yeah.
And as a result, then creators are going to go, well, then it's not worth it. Why am I even going to bother doing it? And so all of a sudden we're going to have this, dead internet thing. Yeah, we're basically going to get no new art. And that's kind of the same thing that
yeah, no, it's going to happen. The dead internet thing is real, and it's growing.
I mean, the dead internet thing grows by the day at this point. There's this is the point that it's going to happen regardless. So,
oh no, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it's kind of like with the uninstall of empathy.exe. I think that it's just an unfortunate side effect of life and the circle and all that.
As long as people are still able to monetize it in some way, shape, and form, which I'm sure they'll figure it out, there will be somebody doing something.
Well, what I think will most likely happen with this is if it's summarizing a video, they'll probably get a kickback in some way, shape, or form.
like, earlier I was trying to look for a specific quote, right? And I couldn't find it because it's lost in these videos. They're replying to videos that are replying to videos, right? So they're 20, 30 minutes long. It'd be one thing if I could get a summary from an AI, find the quote and go, okay, there it is. And then I can go on it. But people are still going to watch things like Moist Critical or what's his name? Asmongold. Regardless.
But that's commentary as opposed to like people who are showing you how to do things or something like that.
I mean,
so,
and people who show you how to do things, unless they're like making a living out of it. Like, I rarely find videos of people making a living out of the fact that they showed you how to change out a battery. Now, granted, there are probably some out there, but I mean, I guess it could be callous of me to say, but when I say, how do I do a thing, and then YouTube brings me a video and says, between this minute and this minute, click play, it's had like several thousand views to it, or 300,000 views to it, but that's like the only thing posted on the channel too. Maybe a few others. They're not making anything out of it. So it wouldn't matter in the most, or it wouldn't matter anyway at that point. And, there's also different ways of doing things. Like, it's one thing if I read it, I have to watch somebody do it because I'm a visual learner.
Yeah.
So, unless the video is going to recreate that for me specifically,
yeah,
I have to watch it regardless.
Yeah. So, but the thing is that I think what the argument is, it would take the view away from the creator and give it to the AI amalgamation, and you're like, well, maybe they'll figure something out. Yeah, that's great, but I don't know that Google has necessarily been known for like looking out for the little guy. So, like I said, I don't know that there's a way to get this toothpaste back in this bottle, but
I don't think it's going to be anything as egregious as that, because Google wants to push ads, and Google can't push ads if you don't watch the video.
Yeah, they can. Well, they can push. So, they can put no. So what I'm saying,
I mean, at least they're going to put up a 30-second ad over the summary or something, and
yes,
you're going to have to wait for that before the summary is reviewed. At that point, I might as well just click play on the video. So
no, because the video is going to be an amalgamation of all of the information that I found, and it's going to be more concise, most likely.
Well, that would be making a video out of nothing then.
Which they do with art anyway.
So, I don't see YouTube doing that anytime soon.
Okay, well, so here's the thing.
To avoid giving ad revenue to creators, I think they totally would. I would.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't say that they won't do it, but I don't see them doing that anytime soon.
Well, here's
AI may be able to grab the video, summarize the video, and here's this 30-minute video in 15 paragraphs or whatnot, or summarized to one paragraph. It's one thing to do that. It's another for them to make a brand new video out of nothing to hit point A, B, and C in 30 minutes, or like in 2 minutes or 3 minutes, instead of watching the 30-minute video.
Well, here's the thing also. What happens when people are not able to monetize, not able to do it? They disappear. The AI can only work with what it has access to, and if there's no new stuff coming out, dead internet theory taking over there, then guess what happens? Google and whoever is not going to make any more money. So it is in their interest to keep people shelling out content. And how would they do that? Well, actually, Rumble came up with that solution. Zio, I reposted your video. Am I going to get any of that views and all that? Or reposted this live stream? Am I going to get those views and all that? No.
Absolutely. He gets them all. Steals every one of them.
Only when I'm streaming. But no, you get it. And I think that's exactly what's going to probably happen, is when somebody's video is summarized, the AI will take a chunk of the ad revenue, whatever, and another chunk will go to the original creator. It just is good business. It's a win-win for Google. They get a little bit more, but they still give something to the creator so that they keep creating. Otherwise, they're just going to run, inevitably, they would run out of stuff to put summaries to.
I think that's true. I don't know how short or long-sighted they're going to be.
Short-sighted till it starts affecting their bottom line, then they'll get long-sighted.
But it might be like at that point, it's, the horse is kind of already starved, and who's even looking into the art of making videos any longer. So I don't know. I think that, I have a dystopian view of technology in general, just because of the fact that humans and we tend to use things wrong. It's like, hey, look, this is a knife. Let me stab somebody.
In the cold.
No, it's for your bread, dude. So, but one of the first things we did with AI pictures is make porn. So, we don't necessarily always.
It's going to be. We'll probably still have things like this happen. This here is purely done by AI.
Yeah.
They're not going to admit to it. In fact, I've seen several. At one point, I saw several of these channels crop up, right?
Yeah.
And they would read the story, and I probably because I'm an asshole and kept seeing them and was like, AI. Now I wasn't upset that it was AI because it was interesting. I listened through the entire damn story. It was like an hour long, 45 minutes long.
Oh, God,
I was interested in the story and I enjoyed it, but I was just like, this is AI, right?
I don't know.
Then some of those one of those channels started getting some real people to say, hey, blah, 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 blah. And they would essentially read the same script every single time, right?
Yeah.
To prove that they're a real thing. And then they would speak into the mic with their story voice, which is completely different from anything else. Not saying that people can't do that or anything. They can. But it's like, yeah, I also heard that same voiceover on these other two channels. Because it's the AI voice website where you can buy the voice and then feed the thing in.
Yeah.
And, when you forget to do little things when you start launching those channels, like story prompt, which is the first thing you type in when you're getting the AI to do it. Sometimes they forget and leave that in the audio part. So it's like story prompt.
Hilarious. Or when they repeat the same section.
That's the thing. And, when this stuff first started coming out, it was very obvious, right? Because it would say a thing and then describe that thing, right? And then when so and so would come back later in the story, they would then they would describe the exact same thing that they did like 20 minutes ago. And in one of those, I was like, guys, you've got to do a little bit better with your proofreading on this one because I enjoyed the story, but listening to her come into the room with the exact same thing 3 fucking times in a row, guys. That was like an entire 3 paragraphs that didn't need to happen.
Yep. But no, I sent you something for kind of related to this.
It was a graveyard run.
But yeah,
just another salvage job near the burnt edge of the Andros belt.
This is the kind of thing that's going out right now, but it still requires human to deal with because somebody has to first tell ChatGPT, here's the story prompt, here's the thing, grab the thing, then feed it into the AI audio guy, who then does the thing. Then they grab themselves a picture or two from, Grok or ChatGPT to put on the background. Then they have to slap it all together with HitFilm or whoever, right? Or After Effects or whoever, and then upload it.
Yeah. It's basically like we're all going to turn into George Jetson, where his job was literally to go into the office and push a button. But there's something uncanny about this stuff. I mean, I guess we're getting trained to accept it more and more, but there's always something in your brain that kind of recoils in a way. The movements are always a little too fluid. There's always a little too much blur. It's just I can't put my finger on specifically what it is, but it bothers me, like bad color grading.
Well, see, some of this stuff is getting really, really good, right?
Yeah, even the best stuff. Like you can, there's still something that like scratches you like right between the shoulder blades.
This one and Bigfoot, those are just definitely the AI all the way, right? But there was another one of a
the one of
newscaster,
the newscaster,
talking about something going missing, illegals. I don't quite remember what it was, and the guy on the bike behind him that just into the puddle and down and gone. She's like, and there goes another one. And it was like, okay, you almost had me until the puddle moment because it looked damn good. You couldn't tell the difference.
One
but
of them was wearing a medieval
some of this
suit
stuff
of
was
armor.
funny because it
He was
did
just standing there,
require
aura
to
farming
do
on
a
top of a
thing
pile
with
of
it.
our fallen soldiers. We tried invading one of their cities. Some homeless guy attacked me with a needle. I've contracted 17 diseases.
But anyway.
Oh, you're not going to play the rest?
Oh, well, I guess I can.
We put biometric locks across the base. One of them walked up, licked the scanner, and it opened anyway. I don't even know whose DNA that was. They sent us a note. The next wave will be from Arkham Asylum. I am both confused and terrified. I was the last one standing. A voice behind me whispered, "Let's make a glove out of this one!" I screamed preemptively. One of our recon units got their tank towed by an HOA. We received 13 fines in 4 minutes. Their medics started stapling sticky notes with time of death to the bodies of our fallen. Some even said, "Get well soon." They shot down our flagship destroyer with a potato cannon and renamed it the USS Folded. The High Council is pissed. He had no armor, just a Waffle House apron and a spatula. We lost 3 squads before he took a smoke break.
I think the one where he's like, and then they said, take down his pants or something. I've never run faster because he was playing dead. It's like, take off his pants. Oh, but anyway. No, that's kind of unfortunately where we're going because some of these are funny, but at the same time, we are losing a thing here and there.
Well, I mean, we're also at the point where you can tell AI to write you a script. So,
yeah.
And the thing is, some of the jokes are kind of funny when the AI writes them, which makes me sad because I'm like, I laughed at something that's not real.
Yeah, well, maybe the AI didn't write that joke. That's the thing.
No, I have a friend who had ChatGPT write basically a comedy sketch for her daughter, and it was like there were parts of it that were like, oh, that's genuinely funny. Oh, dang it, it's becoming self-aware.
Yeah,
how the Matrix starts, and you're contributing, but it's fine. It's fine.
All right, so let's finish off because it is time for me to sign off.
Yes,
China's first gaming GPU. Huh. The Luzuan G100 performs like a 13-year-old NVIDIA GTX 660 Ti. Huh. Really?
You're muted, Chad.
Is Chad muted or is it me an issue?
Apparently, they can't copy other GPUs.
Okay.
Oh, that's the same.
Also, that thing I sent you, Zio, we should end on because that is solely for you.
All right, well, let's do the last thing then real quick. So China's getting into the GPU market. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much here. It's just, haha.
So the last thing.
They ain't us yet.
Last week, Microsoft made their bid into the handheld market. The console war is officially over, guys. We are now on to the handheld console wars. That's going to be what's going forward at this point. You got Sony working on something, last I heard, along with their Portal. You've got Xbox with the, what was it, the ROG Ally,
yeah.
Right? You've got Steam with the Steam Deck. And now we have Meta with the Meta Quest and all that stuff, Facebook, whoever, right?
I hate that name.
VR headsets. Didn't Steam do a VR headset at one point? Or
Vive.
Did they?
Yeah, HTC Vive.
Okay, they're the Vive. Okay.
I
can't
believe.
keep track of those. And you had PlayStation VR, right?
Okay.
So, all
eyes on me. I
run this saga. In on this side.
'Cause I'm a game changer. I'll change it up. That's how I run it, yeah. That's how I run it. Can you keep up? Chitty bang, I run this thing. Run this thing. Chitty bang, I run this thing.
So yeah. Xbox is getting into the VR headset side with seamless integration with your computer and Xbox, more than likely.
Nope. Absolutely not. Fuck that. Anything with Meta or Facebook connected, I will. No.
The Meta Quest 3S.
Yeah.
So they enforce us with that one, right? But yeah. So that's what we're going to end on. Microsoft or Xbox, Microsoft getting in on the VR side of things. Anybody got anything to say about it?
No.
I mean, just the Meta Facebook people constantly trying to like get more and more information and get more integrated into your actual life and brain is just creepy AF. That's all.
Yeah.
All right. We'll end with this.
There once was a man that was sleepy, so the man brewed himself a pot of coffee, but the coffee did not awaken him, so he drank more and more. Soon then anxiety comes, buzzing, jittering vibrations. Now cause of caffeination, he's just anxious and tired. There once was a man that was sleepy.
I saw this and was like, Zio.
Oh, yep, definitely. Anyway, so that was it for the night. If you like anything, of course, do the whole thing. Like, comment, subscribe, share, follow, all that good jazz. Of course, links for everybody is in the description down below. As always, Chad's going to stream something tomorrow, right?
7 Days to Die. And then next week...
Did you lose more hair?
I shaved.
So yes.
What happened?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't lose it. He knows exactly where it went.
Yeah. Yeah, by the way, I was shaved last week too.
Listen, I wasn't going to say anything, but now it's just like more prominent, so...
Yeah, I shaved. See, here's the thing. I looked in the mirror and realized I had a natural comb over that made me look like a greasy used car salesman. And was like, no. I immediately saw that in the mirror and grabbed my clippers. Was like, bzz, bzz, don't care if I'm messing up. It's better looking than what I've got now.
Listen, did you get the lotion for it? We're gonna have to shine your head.
Oh, actually, the funny thing is, I have a dermatitis shampoo or whatever.
So we're gonna have to shine your head like Krillin. Okay.
Well, you don't necessarily use lotion. You'd use something like a heavy oil, like or wax.
Yeah.
Cocoa butter, I've heard, works wonders.
Well, here's the thing. I'm buzzed. I'm not like clean bald. I'd have to use a manual razor if I want to do that.
Okay, so when I see Chad, I'm gonna have some wax. Okay.
We're gonna give him the full Krillin.
That's right, the full Krillin.
So when does Expedition 33 happen?
It'll be starting on Monday.
Really?
Oh, you actually
okay, what time, dude?
2,500.
What about 7 days?
He can farm in the off hours.
Yeah, well, also, I'm like, Zio, you're working, so what about it?
I'm off Monday.
Okay. So here's what we'll do. Tuesday.
Just play Tuesday, it's fine.
I'm off Tuesday.
Wait, you are?
Monday, Tuesday, work Wednesday, Thursday, off the weekend.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm working this weekend, so I'm naturally off next weekend.
Okay, so I will start on Wednesday.
I got a weird skip.
And Meg, I do promise it will be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday before Game of the Side Assault. And then we're going to go back to 7 days on Saturday for Zio. And then next week after that, it's going to be Expedition 33 all the way.
Oh, cool. All right. I mean, I'm just...
Now, if you want to start Monday, you can.
I was interested in what your take on it was. Like, I don't know any people IRL who played the game. So I was like, I want to talk about the game.
And the funny thing is, I've been looking at it in my library. Like, I need to get on this, but I'm also like... ADHD. Oh, look, a butterfly.
Yes, I
but also,
noticed that.
I want to get into a RPG mood for Final Fantasy Tactics, and I think Expedition 33 is a great kind of segue mentally.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I
haven't
hope
been filling RPGs
enjoyed
for so long, and I've been wanting to, and it's just like getting in the mood's been hard.
Oh, I got my BG3 to work again.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I think it was one
Was
of
it
the
just a broken mod?
Yeah, you know the one that was supposed to fix the mod page or whatnot? Apparently it broke. And it fucked it all up. So
issues, not be conjoin them.
So I finally I think I finally got it cleared out to where it's working again.
Okay. Joe's been talking about wanting to jump on that at some point too, but yeah.
Yeah, you haven't specified like what time.
Again? Oh shit. Probably if it's a weekday, most likely it'll be around 5 Eastern time, EST.
Like Wednesday is my worst day, but I'll try to be on like in time. Otherwise, I'll just watch the VOD back. But
that's.
I'll try to be on, and like if it's confusing, try and like help out. Like I said, I have watched a couple of people play it.
I played Legend of Dragon, and I'm fine.
Well, no, I'm sure you will be. But sometimes it's like, oh, what is this? And it's just cool to have someone who knows.
Yeah.
Like as someone who's played Legend of Zelda and gotten lost many times, it's like, oh, that was good to know, instead of wasting 5 hours on stream. So
wasting 5 hours makes the best content.
Yeah.
Not on stream.
Listen, I wasted
that's something you do at home.
Listen, it took me 3 months to figure out a puzzle in Breath of Fire 3 once.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was before the internet, so.
Yeah, I mean that it was before the internet, but it was young me. I was stuck in a puzzle. I couldn't figure it out. I think I worked on it for like a week and then had to just give up. And about 3 months later, I had a dream about it. No joke. I had a dream about it. And the only reason I'm thinking about this is because it's something that happened to my kid recently. I had a dream about it, so I got up at like 3 in the morning or something and turned on the PlayStation, booted it up, and did the thing I did in my dream, and it worked. And I was like, it was that easy the whole fucking time. And then I went back to save real quick so I could get some sleep and go to school.
That was me with Alondra. I love Alondra, or as I like to call it, the Superior Zelda. And yeah, there were some puzzles in that game that were ball busting for sure.
But yeah, my kid had mentioned something the other day that he had this dream about something he was playing. I don't remember what it was he was playing, but he was stuck on it. And he had a dream about it, woke up and did the thing, and it worked. And I was like, oh, that reminds me of that one time that happened to me when I was about your age.
Both have the game, the gift of dream game of
prophetic
game prophecy.
Yeah. Oh, but anyway, what is Meg doing?
I am last week, yesterday, I actually beat 1, 2, 3 bosses in a row. I was like so proud of me. And then we got to the game final boss, and that's probably what I'm going to be doing next week. The entire time. It's a 3-phase boss. It's huge. You got to hit these tiny little areas with a bow and arrow. We all know Meg can't aim worth crap. This is not what I signed up for. I'm all melee. So yeah, it's gonna be bad. Come yell at me in the comments. Laugh at me when I cry. Cheer with me if I ever pass it. It'll be great. We'll see if I actually wind up giving in and just lowering the difficulty to like. Oh,
never lowered the difficulty.
Oh,
we lost her.
And I will say this. Yes, definitely chat in her chat, and anybody else that you guys are watching, please chat in their chat because they're going to need it next month.
Oh, yeah.
Me?
Everybody who's going to need it. Yeah, we lost her. She's back.
She is back.
Welcome back. You're just in time for us to sign out.
I don't need it. I enjoy it, though. I do enjoy, like, seeing that people enjoy watching me fail miserably at games.
All right, everybody go to Chad's chat and at least yell at him nerd once or something.
Actually, you know what? All my lurkers, I got a lurker emoji. Before you start your lurking, pop that emoji. We're good.
But he needs unique people to comment at least once for
See, I'm not unique enough, apparently.
Oh, trust me, I'm taking everything I can get right now because I looked at that and I'm like, yeah, 20 people in a month. Yeah.
Anyway, so next week we'll be back again to do Gaming with the Side of Salt, where we talk about whatever the news is for the week, that sort of thing. And that'd be next week, of course, next Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time or 5 p.m., whatever Meg's time
Guys,
is.
next
California
Friday is 4th
time.
of July.
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah.
So, with that revelation, is it really?
Yes, it is.
Friday,
I'm looking at
4th of
the
July.
calendar.
Oh, it is. Okay. So with that revelation, there will not be a Gaming with the Side of Salt next week because I will not be here. We're going to be watching fireworks being going boom boom. So yeah, we're skipping a week. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Real quick, Zio, are you sure that's on the 4th? Because here in Ohio, it's on the 3rd, the fireworks displays. You might want to double check.
Yeah, it's the 4th.
Okay.
It's with the church.
Okay.
It's going to be on the 4th. So I already have plans to go do that. I just forgot about them.
All right,
I forgot it was a Friday. So with all that, see ya.
All right, world, don't be too weird. Later.